So I had this question coming from a viewer on TikTok, and they asked this. Hi, I'm looking for insights on transitioning into DevOps. With over a decade in automation testing, I hold a senior role. My main language is JavaScript. Awesome. I've also programmed in Python. Ooh, super cool. I've earned Azure certifications and completed several Udemy courses. Currently, I'm pursuing the Google Machine Learning Engineer certification. I'm comfortable with DevOps tools, but recognize my understanding is junior without commercial experience. After completing my certification, I plan to showcase my skills with a DevOps project focused on AI. I would appreciate your thoughts. All right, that's a very great question with someone who has lots of years experience in the QA field and trying to make a leap into the world of DevOps and AI. So here's what I recommend in a list. No-fluff action plan to make you make that leap from QA to the world of DevOps and AI. The step one, which you've done, which I think is really nice, and I'm making this for other people who might watch this video, is that you're not just starting from scratch. You already have skills that are very essential and transferable to the DevOps world. And one of them is automation testing, scripting, and test frameworks. With your strong experience in JavaScript and Python, I think you are pretty much good to go. You have the understanding of problem-solving skills, flows, and how programmers really think. You also have Cloud Foundation with your Azure certifications. And I believe from your question that you also have a continuous learning mindset. That's clearly proven anyway. So this is your foundation, and it is very, very solid. I really applaud you for that. Now, the steps is that you need to identify your skill gaps. You need to itemize in a list those skill gaps and action planning to how to achieve them. And this is what this video is all about. So DevOps mastery is not just about the tools we use. It's not just about the technology. It's not just about the cloud platform or the programming language. It's a mindset and an experience. So here are the key gaps that you likely need to close. So you need to understand infrastructure as code implementation. So with things like Terraform, Pulumi, and all sorts. You also need to understand container orchestration with Docker and Kubernetes. So those, your JavaScript and Python knowledge, containerize your apps, deploy them with Docker, Containerd, and then publish it, even make it microservices based, and deploy them to Kubernetes, maybe locally or in the cloud. With your cloud knowledge, I believe you should be able to do this seamlessly, although with a little bit of a learning curve. Also, CI/CD pipeline design and deployment workflow. So you should be able to design workflows that are efficient and workable. And also, you want to look at monitoring and observability for your production environment. So when you deploy the app, you need to know how it's performing and all that. So you have testing experience, you know how the app is supposed to perform, which is awesome. But then when the app gets to production, to be honest, it's a different ballgame entirely. Networking configuration, permission levels, and all that might make your app not perform the way it performed in the QA environment. So you want to be able to monitor the health of the application once it gets to production level. So knowing these gaps would give you clarity and direction. So once you list those gaps down, it will then take us to the next step, which is you create your learning path. So to be honest, you don't need more random Udemy courses. You need a clear guide. What you need now is intentional execution. So you start by completing your Google ML Engineer certification. That's your Machine Learning Engineer certification. Yes, I'm a very big advocate for certifications. Then, once you complete that certification, you want to go full hands-on with your Docker and Kubernetes course. Udemy could be a great place for it. Pluralsight, maybe even YouTube. There are people who sell courses like this on the internet, and you can find free options also. Microsoft Learn is a great choice for that. You also want to choose one of the many infrastructure as code tools available in the world today. So if you're going Azure, Bicep, Terraform, if you're going cross-cloud, Terraform, Pulumi would be a great choice for you. So, but if you want to focus on Azure, Bicep, and Terraform, I recommend. To be honest, anytime I need, I recommend Terraform because it's cross-cloud and you can apply your learnings across, and you need to master it. Although we are not all masters essentially, we are all learners. Also, you then want to build and deploy pipelines using GitHub Actions, Azure DevOps, or any CI/CD tool you can lay your hands on. To be honest, the top two I recommend personally is GitHub Actions and Azure DevOps, end-to-end from code to consumer. Finally, you want to learn your monitoring systems like Prometheus, Azure Monitor, Grafana for visualization and all that. Now, this is not just a list I've given you. This is your curriculum, and I seriously hope it will lead you to the right path and build those skills that you're looking for. Now, the step also that you're looking for is that you want to build a real project. You have learned, you have the certifications, you have the pathway, you have the curriculum. You need to apply what you have learned, and as you learn it, you actually want to apply it. So you build a real world project that combines your skills in machine learning, QA, and DevOps. Start with a simple machine learning model that solves a real problem. Use Git and version control best practices. Provision your infrastructure with infrastructure as code tools like Terraform or Bicep. You then want to deploy using CI/CD pipelines that you built yourself, not just samples, that you built yourself and debugged, because it will break. Trust me, it will break. And then monitor the system as if it were a production system. And you should then document as you make every decision, every mistake, every fixes you make, document them, every tool, every result. That gives you more like a map, a knowledge map of where you've been and where you are. So this project essentially becomes your CV. It builds that credibility you're looking for to get that leap into the DevOps world. And of course, this is what I tell everyone: showcase your journey. Don't just learn it under the wraps. Learn in public. As you're learning, you post it out. Don't keep your progress a secret. The visibility you give yourself today creates opportunities for you in the future. Update your GitHub with a solid README. Start by writing blog posts about your learnings and challenges. There are free blogging platforms where you could create your own website and start blogging there. And share your journey regularly. I say regularly on LinkedIn. Contribute to open source projects when you can apply your new skills. It will start with just updating README files, to be honest. Let the world see your transition in public. And then, of course, you also want to network strategically. You don't have to do this alone. Join relevant communities on Discord, Slack, Reddit, even physical communities if you have access to one. Attend virtual meetups and local tech events in that field of DevOps and AI that you're pursuing. And then, of course, also participate in online hackathons and community sprints. And of course, follow and connect professionals that are already in the field of DevOps and machine learning MLOps, so that you can learn from their experiences and also connect with them. This network you're building is not just to have friends, it's to have what will open doors for you that ideally you can't force open just by yourself. And of course, the next step is for you to be able to focus your skills to match your goals. Focus your job search where it makes most sense. Roles that value your testing background and the momentum you've built in the DevOps and AI world. So you want to look at DevOps roles at AI first startups. Startups that use AI, look for DevOps roles in those organizations. Use for site reliability engineer, SRE positions, where scripting and monitoring are key to them. MLOps engineer roles, QA/DevOps hybrid positions as hybrid transition. So you can look for DevOps roles, so you can transition to DevOps engineer, then transition to DevOps engineer using AI. It's a whole world for you, to be honest. But I think if you look at this ones, you should be able to have a good pathway into getting that job. And of course, don't apply just anywhere. Don't apply everywhere. Apply where you have leverage. Apply where your new age fits best. And of course, when people ask you, where you get those interviews, I know you will get those interviews. When they ask you, why are you switching? You must have a story. You've built automation in QA. You saw the shift towards DevOps and AI and you leaned in towards it. You built projects, studied intentionally, and shared the journey publicly. You did not just learn the tools, you changed how you think about engineering. That is your narrative. That is your story. Of course, you can tweak it. That is the way I would say it. And you own that narrative and story with confidence. That is your mantra. That is what you go with every single day. So take action today. Pick one of those skills and start learning as you see this video. Set up your GitHub repo, even if it's just one README file. Block out hours in the day to have hands-on practice, 2-3 hours of practice every day or every work day, depending on your schedule. If you have a family and all that, work around your schedule to ensure that you learn continuously. And you join a community, update your LinkedIn to reflect your new direction, and don't just wait for permission. No, you don't wait for permission. You build your momentum now, right away. You build your momentum right away. So drop a comment when you see this video and let me know which of the steps you're really starting with, or ask for help again if you're stuck on any of the steps. I will be glad to help you, although I'm not an AI expert. I know a little bit about it, but I'm not an expert, but I will be able to guide you towards people and communities that can help you grow also. You've got the background, build that bridge. Let's go make something happen. I trust in you.